teeming with opportunities.
Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, Benjamin Netanyahu vows that Israel is committed to return of all hostages.
I emphasis to you, the families, and to you, the citizens of Israel. We are committed to the return of all our hostages.
Massive rescue operation in the last phase to evacuate 41 trapped tunnel workers in India's Uttarakhand. In sports, Anish Bhanwala creates history, wins India's first ever medal in men's 25 meters rapid fire pistol in ISSF World Cup Final. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Friday has confirmed the first group of hostages has been returned from Gaza. In a video message posted on social media site X, Netanyahu said that the nation is committed to returning of all the hostages from Gaza.
We have now completed the return of our first of our hostages, children, their mothers and other women, each and every one of them in a whole world. But I emphasize to you, the families, and to you, the citizens of Israel, we are committed to the return of all our hostages. This is one of the goals of the war, and we are committed to achieving all the goals of the war.
US President Joe Biden hailed the first release of hostages by Hamas and said that the US expects more captives to be freed in the coming days under a deal that paused weeks of fighting. During a news conference, Biden declined to speculate about how long the Israel-Hamas conflict would last, but said that he thought the chances of an extension of the ongoing truce were real.
In a few days, we expect that dozens of hostages will be returned to their families. We also remember all those who are still being held, and renew our commitment to work for their release as well. 2 American women and 1 4-year-old child, Abigail, who remains among those missing. We also will not stop until we get these hostages brought home and an answer to their whereabouts. I remain in personal contact with the leaders of Qatar, Egypt, and Israel to make sure this stays on track and every aspect of the deal is implemented.
Following the attack on Israel by Hamas on October 7th, 24 hostages, including 13 Israelis, 10 Thai nationals and 1 Filipino, were released along with 39 detained Palestinians. As part of a deal between Israel and Hamas, a total of 50 hostages and 150 Palestinian detainees are expected to be let go, and a 4-day ceasefire has been agreed. To know more, let's take a look at DD India's correspondent William Denslau's report from UN headquarters.
Thanks to this 4-day pause in the fighting, the UN says it's managed to scale up the delivery of humanitarian assistance in Gaza. They say that includes being able to deliver to hundreds of thousands of people more food, more water and more medical supplies across the Gaza Strip. UN officials speaking Friday said they also managed to cross 129,000 litres of fuel and 4 trucks of gas into Gaza. UN officials say they hope this is a sign of things to come.
We hope the agreement between Israel and Hamas, now in force, will bring respite to the people of Gaza and Israel and some relief to the hostages and detainees who will be released and to their families. We hope it allows grieving families to honor their dead and bury them with dignity. And we hope that this humanitarian pause leads to a longer-term humanitarian ceasefire for the benefit of the people of Gaza, Israel, and beyond.
The deal between Israel and Hamas was brokered with the assistance of Qatar, Egypt, and the United States. Speaking on Friday, President Joe Biden touted the role that Washington played, said that there was extensive US diplomacy. He said the deal was brokered in a way that allowed the pause to continue. He said that is the goal. He said that it's just a start, but things are going well. William Denslow in New York, reporting for DD India.
A crowd of cheering Israelis welcomed children and women who had been held hostage for 49 days by Hamas terrorists as they were transported by helicopters to a hospital on Friday. Some holding Israeli flags applauded as the choppers landed at Schneider Children's Medical Center in the central city of Israel, bringing some of the 13 freed hostages from Israel. The Israeli military said that the first group of the hostages had undergone initial medical checks in Israel and would be returned to their families once they are medically cleared. The Israeli military said that the released hostages were first medically examined inside Israeli territory before being taken to the hospitals to be reunited with their families on Friday. Further, according to the hospital officials, the 13 Israeli hostages freed by Hamas are being treated at 2 hospitals in Israel, where they have been reunited with their families. The officials also said that 5 of the women arrived at the hospital and were taken to a special complex with families. The CEO of Schneider Children's Medical Center of Israel said that some of the hostages released are in good physical condition.
I was thrilled to be the one to receive 4 children, 3 mothers, and a grandmother to the best and most caring hands here at Schneider Children's Medical Center of Israel. Their physical condition is good, and they're currently undergoing medical and emotional assessment by the medical and psychological team here at Schneider's.
The Israeli military released video of what it says is aid entering Gaza via the Rafah crossing on the first day of the war's truce. The UN Humanitarian Office said 137 trucks of goods had been offloaded in Gaza, the biggest convoy received since October 7th. US President Joe Biden earlier said that there was a real chance of extending the truce and that the pause in fighting was a critical opportunity to get humanitarian aid into Gaza. Let's turn focus to the Korean Peninsula now. The foreign ministers of South Korea, Japan and China will meet for the first time since the start of the pandemic. The main agenda is to organize a leaders' summit. Let's take a look at DD India's correspondent Andrew Wood reporting from Hong Kong.
Well, back in 2008, the leaders of South Korea, Japan and China agreed to have a yearly summit between the 3 of them to talk about international and regional issues. And they were quite successful at keeping to that timetable until COVID came along. So the meeting of these 3 foreign ministers is the first time there's been a high-level meeting between the 3 countries. And of course, top of the agenda is trying to pave the way for the 2 presidents and the Prime Minister to meet soon, because an awful lot has happened in the past 4 years. Obviously, there was COVID, but also there's been the war in Ukraine that started. And South Korea and Japan are pretty much siding with the West and America on helping Ukraine or supporting Ukraine. China has not condemned Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but it does seem to be an awful lot friendlier with Russia than it was even a year or 2, despite the invasion. There's also the issue of North Korea. This affects all 3 of the countries. South Korea and Japan have moved closer to the United States in defending themselves against both China and North Korea. And the militaries of America, South Korea and Japan in the next week or 2 are due to start sharing real-time information on any missile launches that the North Koreans might be attempting to make, and just general military information as well. Now, North Korea is a problem for China too. In theory, North Korea and China are friends, but to be honest, I think that people in Beijing are probably embarrassed or even rather worried about what North Korea might do next. They really don't want to see North Korea collapse. That would really upset the balance, certainly in the short term, of the diplomatic and military balance in the region. Don't forget, America has tens of thousands of troops stationed in South Korea. If North Korea did collapse, or if it wanted to unify with South Korea, then that would potentially mean there could be American troops on the border of the old North Korean border with China. So there's lots to talk about here. In Hong Kong, I'm Andrew Wood, reporting for DD India.
All right, let's take a look at other stories, making it to the headlines from across the world. On Friday, the Irish police detained people after continued unrest in the aftermath of the stabbing incident in Dublin. The incident that occurred on Thursday had left several children and adults injured, sparking riots in the Irish capital. Jailed South African Paralympic star Oscar Pistorius was granted parole on Friday with the condition to continue his anger management therapy. Pistorius spent more than 10 years in punishment for murdering the girlfriend. He will be released on January 5th. Shoppers flocked the stores across the globe on Friday looking for discounted electronics, clothing and household goods in the kickoff to the holiday shopping season, crucial to big retailers. Though this Black Friday seemed subdued as compared to the previous years, enthusiasts continued on their shopping spree as usual. Mount Etna, the towering volcano on the east coast of Sicily, Italy, has once again captured the world's attention with its eruption. The eruption sent a plume of ash and lava into the sky, visible from various parts of the Mediterranean island. In addition to Mount Etna, Europe is on alert for another potential volcanic event. This has led to the evacuation of thousands of residents as a precautionary measure. A new exhibit celebrating the life and career of singer Billy Joel officially opened in New York on Friday. This is the first ever major display of the singer's career, showcasing his journey through memorabilia, video and audio messages, recordings, awards and instruments donated by Joel and avid collectors. K-pop superstars BTS released the trailer of their docu-series, that is BTS Monuments Beyond the Star, last week. The singers will be launching an 8-part docu-series exclusively from Disney Plus from December 20th that takes audience on an in-depth journey across the group's 10-year career. 74-year-old British rock star Ozzy Osbourne became one of the 13 winners at the first Rolling Stone UK Awards hosted at the Camden Roundhouse. His wife Sharon Osbourne received the award on his behalf as he was unable to attend the event in person. Thousands gathered in central Madrid to watch the switching on of Christmas lights in the Spanish capital. Madrid's mayor, José Luis Martínez Almeida, kicked off the Christmas season by lighting up the big tree of Sol Square. We're heading for a short break, but still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Voting starts in the western Indian state of Rajasthan for 199 out of 200 assembly constituencies of the state. The 54th International Film Festival of India continues to attract film buffs and professionals from all over the world. Stay with us as we get you highlights of Day 5 at IFFI. Indian top-seeded shuttler Satwik and Chirag to face Chinese duo of He Jiting and Ren Jiangyu in the semi-final of China Masters Super 750 tournament.
Developing world, amplifying the voice of the global south with a focus on the growing economies, resolving the conflicts, showcasing the culture, tradition, heritage and diversity. Watch Voice of the Global South at these times on DD India.
Wherever news breaks, whatever it takes.
Connecting corners, cutting across continents.
Stories that matter from across the globe.
Accurate, authentic journalism that serves you right. From politics to glamour, from sports to world affairs, with a fusion of aesthetics and substance. Introducing news in a new avatar. Experience the world through a new lens. Stay tuned to DD India for an exciting journey beyond borders.
India that invents. India that innovates. India that excites. India that invites. Land of possibilities. Teeming with opportunities. Watch India Ideas each Thursday, 8 p.m. only on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live and I'm Preeti. Let's get you more international updates. More than 1,000 people gathered in Amsterdam in support of groups facing discrimination in the Netherlands after Geert Wilders won Wednesday's election. In Amsterdam's central Dam Square, people lit candles or held up cell phone lights in protest 2 days after the general election. Wilders' Freedom Party won 37 seats out of 150, well ahead of 25 for a joint Green ticket and 24 for Conservative People's Party for Freedom and Democracy of outgoing Prime Minister Mark Rutte. Wilders' election win led to protests in several cities. In Amsterdam, demonstrators expressed shock and anger at the election results. The European Union's top human rights envoy met on Friday with Cuban officials as the island's government faced criticism from the European bloc, the United States and rights groups for jailing protesters during anti-government demonstrations in July of 2021. European Union representative Eamon Gilmore said that such topics like economic, social, cultural, civil and political rights were on the top of the table with top Cuban officials after 2 days of meetings with the island's government and civil society. Cuba's government blames the U.S. government for stoking the protests in a bid to overthrow Cuba's government and says those detained are guilty of assault, vandalism and sedition, among other crimes. Finland's Prime Minister Petteri Orpo said on Friday that an unusually high inflow of migrants to the Nordic country from Russia must stop, adding that it was a matter of national security. He was addressing a press conference in Helsinki along with his Latvian counterpart Erika Selena. Finland has temporarily closed all but one of the 8 passenger crossings to Russia in response to an unusually high inflow of migrants for which the country accuses Moscow. Zimbabwe's government has initiated strict measures, including the limitation of public gatherings and food vending in response to a significant spike in cholera cases. The country has also intensified surveillance of burials in all areas affected by the outbreak. New cholera cases in southern African country trebled from 437 to 1,259 this week, the biggest jump since the latest outbreak of the waterborne disease started in February. This has triggered panic in Zimbabwe, where more than 4,000 people had died from cholera in 2008. The authorities last week declared a state of emergency in the capital Harare, which has the highest number of new infections. After more than a week's endeavour to reach the 41 trapped workers in the collapsed tunnel in India's northern district of Uttarkashi, the rescue and relief operation has entered its final stage. Just a few meters of drilling is left to reach the workers. A wide enough pipe has been laid to safely roll out the workers on stretchers. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi talked to Uttarakhand's Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami and sought information about the ongoing rescue operation. More than a dozen doctors, including psychiatrists, are deployed at the site, talking to the men and monitoring their health. The 54th International Film Festival of India, one of Asia's most prestigious film festivals, continued with its enchantment on the 5th day on Friday. The festival has attracted film enthusiasts, professionals and film buffs from all over the world. DD India's Shama Misra gets us details from Goa.
The winners of the 48-hour filmmaking challenge of 75 Creative Minds of Tomorrow initiative at the International Film Festival of India were announced. Team Grey emerged as the best in filmmaking challenge. 75 CMOT participants were divided into 5 teams who made short films on the topic Mission Life in 48 hours.
All come together in this 48 hours. I think that's also and I feel something to learn. I mean, how to collaborate with each other and just to make a film in 48 hours.
All 5 teams, people they never met, people they did from all over India. Some of them don't even speak the same languages, but they're all in a team. And that was really the greatest, most exciting part.
We've done it, and I thank the entire team for it. Everyone's worked very hard. Everyone believed in the script. Everyone believed in the story, because it has a genuine heart to it. And I think if we can portray such stories later in the future where more people can see it, I think that's the way to go.
During the film festival, the CMOT participants also attended workshops and masterclass sessions curated by the masters of world cinema. The day witnessed screening of mid-fest film as the 54th IFFI touched its halfway mark. About Dry Grasses, a captivating Turkish cinematic masterpiece directed by Nuri, was screened as the mid-fest film. The film, known for its enthralling storyline and exceptional performances, has garnered international acclaim, with its latest accolade being the Best Actress Award at the Cannes Film Festival 2023. Acclaimed actor Manoj Vajpayee also made his presence felt at the film festival. His 2 projects, Gulmohar and Sirf Ek Banda Kafi Hai, are screened.
Your film is being screened here at IFFI. You were here at IFFI last year as well. How do you see this platform and your film being screened here? How big is that?
Any kind of a festival where films are coming from all over the world, and the great creative minds representing their own industry coming here with their films, with their art. So it becomes a festival. It's actually a mela, the film mela, and this is more than you showing the film, your film achieving something. It's always great to mingle and exchange.
Premiere of several highly anticipated films from across the globe, a wide range of films including world cinema, documentaries and regional films was screened throughout the day. The cast and crew of film Sana, including director Sudhanshu Saria, actor Radhika Madan, Pooja Bhatt and Nikhil Khurana, addressed the press today. Day 5 of the 54th International Film Festival of India continued to showcase the best of world cinema while providing an avenue for industry professionals and film enthusiasts to interact and share their passion for the films.
With galaxy of activities happening at the 54th edition of International Film Festival of India, Day 5 comes to an end. We now have 75 fresh young minds who will now be putting Indian story in front of the entire world. With this, we also have several other screenings in different sections and a diverse selection of movies. Shama Mishra, DD India, Goa.
Let's take a look at other stories making it to the headlines from India. Voting has started in the Indian state of Rajasthan for the assembly elections. Polling started at 7 a.m. IST and will continue till 6 p.m. at 199 out of 200 assembly constituencies of the state. 51,890 polling stations have been set up for more than 5 crore 26 lakh voters in the state. About 2,75,000 polling personnel have been deployed to ensure smooth polling in the state. India's Union Health Ministry has said that it is closely monitoring the reported outbreak of H9N2 cases and clusters of respiratory illness in children in northern China. In a statement, the Health Ministry said that there is low risk to India from both the avian influenza cases reported from China. It added that India is prepared for any kind of exigency and may emerge from the current situation. Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra outreach being observed in the Indian state of Maharashtra. The Yatra was flagged off from Maharashtra's Nanded region. The Sankalp Yatra pledge was also observed during the event. The mobile LED vehicles, which promote the central and state government schemes by visiting every village in the district, were flagged off by the dignitaries at the collector's office. The Yatra aims to reach out to people and create awareness about benefits of welfare schemes to the people. Getting your sports updates now. Young pistol shooter Anish Bhanwala won India's first ever medal in 25 meters rapid fire pistol event in the ISSF World Cup Final on Friday. The 21-year-old shot 27 in the final to win the bronze in the prestigious competition in Doha. The medal in the season-ending competition capped a momentous year for the 21-year-old who won a first-ever senior individual ISSF World Cup stage medal and a first senior Asian Championships medal and a Paris Olympic quota place. The top-seeded pair of Satvik Sairaj Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty stormed into the semi-final of the China Masters Super 750 tournament in a straight-game victory on Friday. The Indian duo will face Chinese pair of He Ji-ting and Ren Jiang Yu in the semi-finals of men's doubles on Saturday. Ace Indian QS Pankaj Advani completed his 5th grand double with a dominating 5-0 win over compatriot Saurav Kothari in the final of IBSF World Billiards Championship in Doha on Friday. The victory extended Advani's world title tally to a staggering 27. The 38-year-old, who had defeated Kothari recently in the longer format of the 1,000-point, won the earlier editions in 2005, 2008, 2014 and 2018. This is in addition to the snooker double he won in 2015. That's it in this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X and also Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.